Hello and welcome to the Watering Hole. Thanks for checking out this clip. Don't forget to like and subscribe because that'll make the baby Jesus cry, and I know how much you guys love making the baby Jesus cry. What story is coming up next? I think it's George Santos. It is. Representative Santos faces new charges. He stole donor IDs, made unauthorized charges to their credit cards. Okay. You don't know who George Santos is, correct?
No, but I was very confused as to why there was ground beef next.
Well, it's because Canadian shoppers should think twice before buying from these two stores.
Continue.
So George Santos is a representative in the United States.
Yeah, I got that much.
Who lied about everything.
Okay, so what makes him different from the other representatives?
Because the other representatives will lace the truth throughout their lies. He was 100% lying about everything he ever said. Like, even to the point where, like, he said he was Jewish.
He's not Jewish?
No, he's not Jewish. And when he was called out for that, he said, I'm like, my great-great-grandmother on my father's side was Jewish. So when I said I'm Jewish, like, he actually said this, what I really meant was I'm Jew-ish. Like, that was actually what he said.
That's great. Keep going.
And he claimed to be a rich businessman, and he lied about a bunch of donations that he had lined up so that he could qualify for extra funding from the Republican Party. And he lied about his work history. He lied about his unemployment history because, like, he was on unemployment when he took this job.
Nobody ever checks these things?
Well, no, they did. That's how he got caught.
After he was elected, though.
Yeah.
I'm talking about before.
Oh, it was coming out. It was starting to come out.
But people were like,
Loki the Tired Trickster says, Rhino, don't kill your partner with other people's stupidity.
Truth.
Jethro Elfman says, let's cut away while she pees herself.
That is a real thing, okay?
Okay, I didn't mean to hire that one, but it's apropos. Santos is the ultimate shit stain on the underwear of American society. That works. So yeah. U.S. Representative George Santos stole the identities of donors to his campaign and then used their credit cards to ring up tens of thousands of dollars in unauthorized charges. He then wired some of the money to his own personal bank account. So he's got a 23-count indictment filed on Tuesday, which replaces one that was filed in May. The one in May was charging him with embezzling money from his campaign and lying to Congress about his wealth, among other offenses. In the updated indictment, prosecutors accuse Santos of charging more than $44,000 to his campaign over a period of months using cards belonging to contributors without their knowledge. In one case, he charged $12,000 to a contributor's credit card and transferred the vast majority of that money into his personal bank account.
Like, when's he going to jail?
After the trial.
So I've heard the name before. What politically has he done? Because I've heard the name.
Politically, he's done nothing. He got elected and then was immediately called to resign and then refused to resign.
No, but you've had him on Twit tweets or something before.
Yeah, I'm sure I've talked about him on Twit tweets. His name is... I always think of George Soros when I hear George Santos.
I don't, but...
Well, George Soros is the Jewish man that is supposedly funding the radical left. So, like, anytime there's protests that the Republicans don't like, they'll be like, oh, that's not how people actually feel. That protest was just funded by George Soros.
Oh, dear Lord.
So he's also accused of falsely reporting...
Wait, hold on. Sorry. I'm going back to conspiracy theories. Sorry. So, George Soros, a Jew, is funding the radical left. Mm-hmm. And that's going to lead back to lizard people somehow.
Yeah.
And the radical left is better than the right?
Not if you're on the right.
Well, I don't care about them.
Yeah, no, the radical left is better than the right. I don't know. Well,
So
okay, I don't know about the
lizard
radical
people?
left, but like
We want the lizard
left
people
is
to
better
take
than
over
right.
then.
Sure. Well, no, see, the thing is the lizard people are doing stuff like this in order to maintain control. So they don't actually want one side or the other to win. They just want them to be distracted enough that they can continue running things behind the scenes. Come on, you saw Inside Job.
I did. Mm-hmm.
It's basically that.
I'm sure I'll come back to this in a little bit, but continue.
So Santos is also accused of falsely reporting to the Federal Elections Commission that he had loaned his campaign $500,000 when he actually hadn't given anything and had less than $8,000 in the bank.
How do you loan your campaign? It's your fucking campaign.
Well, that's the way you can. So Otaku Senpai says Santos also claimed that his mother, who died in 2016, was killed in the 9/11 attacks on the Twin Towers. That was another thing he lied about. No, so that's a legitimate thing. If you have a lot of money, you can loan money to your campaign, and then that qualifies you for extra funding from your party or whatever, and then your campaign has to pay you back eventually.
Why? If you have the money to loan your campaign, you want to be in office.
Campaign finances in the States are a big fucking mess.
Yeah, but if you want to be in office, if you put money in that, why? Like, I will loan you money for your campaign, but you have to pay me back once you get a job in installments.
Drew Harrison says George Soros is just a stand-in because they can't say rich Jews. Absolutely.
I keep telling people I should rule the world. Nobody listens.
Yeah. And Freedom Inc. says the fact that he's the biggest liar in the GOP is exponentially bad. Yeah, because like to be the biggest liar in the GOP, that's accomplishing something. Anyway, the fake loan was attempted to convince the Republican Party officials that he was a serious candidate worth their financial support. Then blah, reiterating that he stole people's identities.
So hold on. Are we saying that the Republicans didn't do a background check before they gave him money?
No, they don't fucking care. Are you a crazy guy who supports Donald Trump? Yes? Okay, we'll back you. No questions asked.
But weren't they going on about, like, Canada not doing background checks on people?
Different time, though. That was before we applauded a Nazi.
Oh, so not doing background checks then was okay, but...
I guess. But it's only okay if you're a Republican. If you're a Democrat, then the slightest infraction is worthy of getting you kicked out of Congress. Like that guy that accidentally pulled the fire alarm thinking that it was a button to open a door somehow. Like, stupid mistake. But like they're saying, like, he should be kicked out of Congress for that.
He probably should.
Well, apparently those doors actually are a little bit confusing. But like, they were turning it, like, he accidentally pulled a fire alarm.
Okay.
Stupid move. Whatever. We've all made dumb mistakes, maybe not to that degree.
I'm just saying.
But like they took that and they turned it into he tried to delay a vote on a specific thing, so that's government interference, so he should be expelled from Congress, even though the fire alarm he pulled wasn't in the same building as the building that the vote was taking place.
Oh, no, I'm not even talking for that reason. I'm just like, how do you, if you can't figure out not to pull the fire alarm.
Yeah, I don't know what was going through his head. I'm not going to defend him over much other than to say I know what it is like to make stupid mistakes like that.
Well, see, where I'm going... Like,
but I'm also not making laws.
Like, my thing with the fire alarm thing is usually, like, if I'm talking about, like, the little boxes, they've got the little bar, like, it's not just a, oh, there's a button, let me press it. Can someone just Google this and show me a picture so I can, like, visually be like, okay, I can see how a mistake was made? Because fire alarms, you gotta lift the lid, you gotta, like, do things.
No, the lid's only in schools, I think. A lot of places don't have the lid.
Right, but I'm saying it's usually more than just
I know. Whatever. My point is, dude accidentally pulls a fire alarm in a building that Congress wasn't even in session, and the Republicans immediately call for him to be expelled from Congress and resign and all that shit. Meanwhile, Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Jewish space lasers lady, can just run amok, and they don't care. Lauren Boebert can give a guy a handy in a theater with children present. And the party that's all like, oh, we can't have people grooming children.
Family values.
The party of family values does nothing about it.
Of course not.
So, like, it's just a huge old double standard. If you have an R beside your name in Congress, you can get away with whatever the fuck you want.
I get it.
But if you have a D, you can't.
It's even worse for us V's.
Freedom Inc. says, and she's pointed out the actual difference between the left and the right. Nuance and some level of actual knowledge is required on the left. So yeah, he came out of a 2-hour Republican conference at the U.S. Capitol and told reporters that he had no comment on the superseding indictment. I was in conference like everyone else without my phone, so I have nothing to say, he said. He has previously maintained his innocence, claiming he is the victim of a witch hunt, because that's what...
Okay. What's his name?
George Santos.
No, the alarm guy.
Oh, I don't fucking remember. It wasn't Hakeem Jeffries, was it? Because that's the guy that the Democrats are voting for Speaker of the House. So, Democrat House pulls fire alarm.
Jamal Bowman.
Okay, sure, yeah. So far Santos has resisted calls to resign, saying he intends to run for re-election next year. His personal and professional biography as a wealthy businessman began to unravel soon after winning the election to represent parts of Long Island and Queens last year, revealing a tangled web of deception. In addition to lying to voters about his distinguished Wall Street background, his Jewish heritage, academic and athletic achievements, animal rescue work, real estate holdings, and more, like his mother dying on 9/11. Is that the door?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. I'm not going to... Why no Cirrus tonight? Because Cirrus is having a rough week.
I'm not discriminating between who I make fun of and
yeah, I'm not going to defend him pulling the alarm. I'm just saying that in the grand scheme of like what all the GOP guys are doing, that's nothing.
Oh, I don't doubt that. But they're not going to call me one of those people who are like, won't call out their own. Not that he's my own, but, you know, I will call everybody out.
Well, no, they're, I think it was Blade Runner. I don't know. Someone in the YouTube chat was pointing out when, oh God, what's his name? Old guy, glasses, used to be a comedian. Al Franken, that's the one. So Al Franken, do you know who that guy is?
Nope.
So he was a Democrat congressman, and he was fucking amazing. He was great at what he was doing. But then pictures came out from one time when he was on tour with the U.S. Navy or something, and there was one picture of him, like there was a woman service member who was sleeping, and he was like miming grabbing her boobs. He didn't actually touch her, but he was miming it. And because that picture came out, he resigned in shame. He didn't actually assault anyone. He just did something that when she found out about it, she said, that made me uncomfortable. And he was like, yep, I see that. I'm sorry. I resign.
I remember that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, on the right, you get shit like this and nobody fucking cares because they have an...
I'm not saying they're right. I'm just...
No, I'm just pointing out is that this is one of the, people on the left have no problem ousting their own people when they misbehave.
No, I agree.
So he was initially arrested on May 13th, when they charged him with using funds earmarked for campaign expenses on designer clothes and other personal expenses and improperly obtaining unemployment benefits meant for Americans who lost work because of the pandemic. Oh yeah, Bob Menendez being caught with gold fucking bars and being called to leave the Senate. Yeah, that was just recently. I didn't get all the details on that one, so I'm not going to comment.
I have a technical question.
What's that?
Why am I wearing these?
Because there's a video in one of these.
Okay.
That you're going to...
Because I was like, there's no sound coming out of here.
Because he's corrupt as fuck. He's like, yeah, I know, but there is a video in one of these things. Whiskey RPG says, no Cirrus, but loved my second favorite power couple. Second favorite? Who's your first favorite?
You and Cirrus.
Oh. Yeah. I was thinking like Cirrus and Saki. So Santos says that all his lies were victimless embellishments, and his financial misconduct he blamed on his campaign treasurer, that he claims went rogue.
Yes, that's exactly what people do when they're committing financial fraud. They put the money in someone else's account and not their own.
Yeah. Well, she pleaded guilty to a fraud conspiracy charge, telling a judge that she helped her former boss hoodwink prospective donors and Republican Party officials by submitting bogus campaign financial reports.
Yeah, but it wasn't all her fault because the money didn't go in her account.
Yeah. Yeah, Justice says Suris and Saki. I have too many notifications going too many places. This multi-streaming thing is messing me up. I'll get used to it eventually. So Santos has now also been charged with recording fake donations from at least 10 people. So that's... not quite there yet. Okay. So fake donations that he recorded were from 10 people that were all either his or Mark's relatives, Mark's being his campaign finance manager person. And it was as part of his effort to make his campaign look like it was hitting financial goals. And in one instance, he swiped credit card information of one of his contributors who had already donated $5,800 to the campaign to give himself an additional $15,800 in payments. But because that went over contribution limits under federal law, he listed the additional payments as coming from his own relatives. Prosecutors allege. This is all alleged as of now. It's just in the indictment. It's not.
I'm like, how much money do these people have on their credit cards that he can like charge $15,000? I can't even charge $15 right now. That's the good thing, though. If someone tries to steal my credit card, they're not going to get it.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I mean, you can pay my bill if you want.
If you can make it work, let me know how. Oh, Binary Hedgehog. Did I miss the Genesis 2? Yes, you did. You're going to have to rewind for that. A separate fundraiser for Santos, Sam Miel. I don't know how to say that last name. Was also previously indicted on federal charges that he impersonated a high-ranking congressional aide while soliciting contributions for the Republican campaign. Tomoko Lovecraft, welcome to Basic. Ya basic, Tomoko. But now you get emojis, Rhino emojis. So those are available on Twitch now, some of them. It only let me do 5, I think, so not all of them. But...
Oh, whoever's doing our artwork, if you're here tonight, I am getting back to you, I promise.
I don't think they are. But yeah, no, that's basically everything I wanted to say about George Santos. But like, he going to jail.
Good.
Probably. Ooh, Jethro Elfman with the $20.
Like, I really hope people, after they get charged federally, is it criminally? Criminally, that's the word I'm looking for. After they get charged criminally, if all of these people like do civil suits against them, that would be great. I'd greatly appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you. If I had the money, I would help fund it for you, but I don't. Although
Ask
you
George
did
Soros.
give him money to be part of the Republican Party, so I don't really know that I would help you out.
Get George Soros to fund the civil suits.
Yeah.
Because he funds everything else, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like the family to the previous one, you know, if I had the money, I would help you with your civil cases.
Fennec the Rabbit says, Rhino and Sir is sitting in a tree. Kissing.
We're going to have to go meet Cirrus now.
I don't want to go to Georgia.
I've been there. It's quite nice.
No, I've been there too. It's not nice. I mean, I've only ever driven through it.
So that's where they have that really good ice cream shop where you say like the line was like around the corner.
Okay, but we have good ice cream in Fort Erie. That's like the only thing that we have that's good in Fort Erie.
As the ice cream connoisseur in this relationship, it's good. Not the best I've ever had.
It's good. Melody Starflare says, no Cirrus tonight? No, Cirrus needed the week off. Or the night off. I don't, he's probably not.
I feel like next time Cirrus isn't here, we should just have like a banner at the bottom. Cirrus is not here today.
Jethro with another $21. Thank you, Jethro. You're so generous tonight. All right, on to the tweets, although I still think you should rename the show Twit Excretions. I like it, but that doesn't quite flow off the tongue. I'm going to put Saul says, money to Rhino watering hole.
Oh, I like it.